Hi, my name is Yin Gao and welcome to Dr. Gao's classroom. I'm a professional philosopher and I love classical Chinese philosophies and poetry. I have been teaching and translating classical Chinese philosophies for many years and poetry for the last few years. I would love to share my knowledge on the subject with you. Your enjoyment is my command. Today, I'm going to continue my musical cosmos theories. In my last few videos, I talked about the legalist views about the musicality of the cosmos by explaining excerpts from the two legalist texts, 管子 or Master Guan and 吕氏春秋 or the Annual of 吕不韦. In my last video, I also talked about the Confucian's view on music. For Confucians, musical and ritual performance was deliberately devised by the former sage kings to lead the people to a particular way of life. Furthermore, this musical and religious persuasion was also reinforced by behavior guidelines or standards, as well as punitive laws. Apparently, Confucian tradition took musical performance extremely seriously. It was not only an integral part of the ritual ceremonies which align human activities with 天道, or the way of heaven, but also regulates human emotions in order to transform human behaviors to achieve social order. The Confucian text, 礼记, or the Book of Rites, along with classics from other schools, even developed an elaborate musicology to provide account for the theory of music, types of music of different periods and reasons, musical instruments, as well as tones and scales, etc. This is how important music was for the major philosophical schools of ancient China. If you are new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on this subject. So if you would like to read the original text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Before we dive into the Confucian musical theory, I would like to talk about the three key concepts used to discuss music in the classic texts. These are 声, yin, and 乐. I'm going to give you a basic account of the paleographic findings of these three characters. Well, I'm inspired by my recent study with an online course about the history, culture, and archaeology of early China. I have listed the link to this course in the description section down below. I'm not paid to promote this course. I just like the course and enjoy the content, as well as the wonderful people I meet there. Okay, back to the three characters. 声 looks like this in the oracle bone inscription, which is the oldest scripts of Chinese. To the left are the pictures of different components to make a sound. To the right is the stylized graph of this component. In the picture, you can see stone chimes hanging on a wooden frame, an ear, a mouth, and a hand holding a hammer about to knock on the stone chime. So, 声 is the sound produced by knocking on a stone chime and heard by an ear or accompanied by a voice from a mouth. This picture was stylized like the one with the different parts indicating in the right. By the time when the first emperor standardized the writing system in China, they took out the mouth and made the ear prominent. In modern Chinese writing, only the top left part is used to represent the character. So we can take the character sheng as sound produced by human, musical instrument, or any other things. For instance, in modern Chinese, sheng is often used with another character to indicate how the sound is produced, as in the phrase of 人声 or human sound, 雷声 or the sound of thunder, 鼓声 or the sound of a drum, etc. Sheng is also extended to mean sounds of all music, as in the phrase of 声色, meaning the flesh pleasure derived from music and beauty, or the sound of words impacting on one's reputation, as in the phrase of 声誉, meaning reputation. The character yin also went through substantial changes over time. My paleography teacher told me that in the oracle bone scripts, the character of yin was the same graph as yan. So far, I haven't found an oracle bone script yet for the character yin. Maybe one of you can help me to find one. But I did find graphs of yin from the bronze vessel inscription from the Western Zhou period of 9th to 8th century BCE. Here is the different scripts of these two characters of yan and yin. As you can see in these ancient scripts here, the graphs of yan and yin are almost identical, except the little dot or the dashed line in the square at the bottom in the character of yin, supposedly representing the sound coming out of the mouth. By the time the first emperor standardized the Chinese writing system as shown here, the character yan and yin are still pretty much the same except the little dash line inside the little square at the bottom. However, their explanations are quite different in the first dictionary, 说文解字, or discussing articles and explaining characters. Yan simply means speech, while yin means regulated sound from the heart and mind by following the 5 tones. Here is an excerpt from 礼记, or the Book of Rites. All sounds are originated from human heart and mind. The emotion of being moved is due to stimulus of external things. Then it is expressed in sounds. When sounds resonate with each other, they produce changes. When such changes follows a pattern, they are called yin. So I suggest that we translate yin as sound. Now, let's look at the character of yue. This is the traditional script, not the simplified one. I use the traditional script because it follows the continuous transformation from the oracle bone script over 3,000 years ago till now, and it is still in use in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and many other overseas Chinese communities. To the far left, it is the oracle bone script of yue. The upper part are 2 silk strings. The lower part is a wooden frame the silk strings attached to. The second one is the script on the bronze vessel of the Western Zhou time. It adds a little plug in the middle which was used to play the string instrument. The last one on the right is the standardized script from the Three Kingdom period of the 3rd century AD. As you can see, this script it's the same graph still in use today everywhere except mainland China. The concept of yue was explained and discussed in detail in the Book of Rites. Here are a few excerpts from the book explaining what yue is. To play musical instruments accompanying songs, as well as to dance with seals, axes, pheasant feathers, and yak tails are called yue. Apparently, yue integrates singing, dancing, and the playing of musical instruments. More importantly, such performance was also integrated with ritual ceremonies as stated in the following excerpt. Therefore, if one conducts such performance with proper timing, then the names of performance agree with their functions. Hence, the bell, the drum, the flute, the stone chimes, the pheasant feathers, the sails, and the axe are the instrument of musical performance. The dancers bend or stretch their bodies, lower or lift their heads, gather or disperse while moving quickly or slowly. These are the forms of yue. It is quite clear such performance is part of the ritual ceremonies performed for ancestors or various deities, as I talked about in my earlier videos on the musical cosmos of ancient China. Li Ji, or the Book of Rites, by integrating the ritual calendar from Lü Shi Chun Qiu, or the annals of Lü Bu Wei, specifies the ritual ceremonies to be performed by the king, the lord, or aristocrats around the annual cycle. The following passages prescribe the utensils used in the ceremonies, the rules for the ceremonies, and how the participants should conduct themselves. The dishes, round or square, the standing dishes, arranged by the prescribed rules, the elegant patterns of their arrangement are the tools for ritual ceremonies. Ascending or descending the steps, entering or exiting the ceremonial hall, turning or spinning the bodies, as well as changing ceremonial robes are the forms of ritual ceremonies. Now, let me translate an important passage, character by character, to show you how socio-political order was supposedly created by organizing and performing ritual and musical ceremonies. 故乐也者，动于内者也；礼也者，动于外者也。乐即和，礼即顺。故 means therefore. 乐 means music. 也者 is a mark for a stop. 动 means move. 于 means at. 内 means interior. 者也 is the mark for a full stop. 礼 means right. 也者 is the mark for a stop. 动 most time can be translated as move, as I did in the last line above. However, it also refers to changes brought by movement, or the act of change something. 于 means at. 外 means exterior. 者也 is the mark for the full stop again. 乐 means music. 极 literally means extreme. Here it simply refers to the perfect state of harmony or order. 和 means harmony. 礼 means right. 极 again means perfect. 顺 means observe. So these three lines can be translated as music moves a person's interior. Right changes a person's exterior. When music is in perfect harmony, people will observe ritual propriety perfectly. 内和而外顺，则民沾其颜色而弗与争也。忘其容貌而民不生意慢焉。内 means interior. 和 means harmonious. 而 means and. 外 means exterior. 顺 means observance. 者 means then. 民 means commoner. 瞻 means look up. Qi here refers to the readers of this text, since Li Ji was intended to teach both the rulers and their officials, I inserted the subject in these passages as the ruling class. 颜色 means expression, 耳 means and, 福 means would not, 予 means with, 真 means content, 也 is the mark for a full stop, 望 means see, 七 means there, 容貌 means demeanor, 耳 means then, 民 again means commoner, 不 means not, 生 means to produce or to become, 易慢 means contemptuous, yan is the exclamation mark. So the three lines can be translated as, if the ruling class has a harmonious interior and observe ritual propriety perfectly, the commoner would look up to them and not contend against them. Seeing their demeanor, the commoners would also not become contemptuous towards them. Here I would like to do a bit of explanation why performing the ritual and musical performance are so important. I talked about the Confucius political vision in an earlier video. Basically, Confucius envisioned a bottom-up emerging political order assisted by a class of 君子 or exemplary person. These exemplary persons are fathers of families, heads of kin groups, or leaders of their communities. By organizing and participating in the ritual and musical performance, they not only cultivated their own virtues, but also created social orders in their families, kin groups, and communities. We all know dance training changes one's body posture. Singing changes one's voice and speech, and training on etiquette changes one's demeanor and behavior. Musical and ritual performance for a Confucian accomplished all these tasks and more at the same time. So the training a member of a ruling class obtained from participating this kind of performance is the process of training exemplary persons. The talented ones would emerge as leaders in their local communities and become moral models for everyone else to emulate. In this ritual and musical performance, the exemplary persons would demonstrate the proper behavior, the rules of etiquette, and the moral conducts. They would also be deeply involved in the local educational system, function as teachers, setting up their own private schools, organizing scholarly activities such as AC or poetry competitions, etc. This is how the Confucian socio-political order was supposedly created. If you would like to know more about this, check out my video about the Confucian exemplary person. Here is the link. This passage continues to provide the basic reasonings. 故德恢动于内，而民莫不成听；礼发诸外，而民莫不成顺。故 means hence, 德 means virtue, 恢 means shine, 动 means motivate, 于 means from, 内 means within, 耳 means then, 民 means commoner, 莫 means none, 不 means not, 成 means accept, 听 means listen, 礼 means pattern or principle, 发 literally means emit or spread out, but here it means to express. 诸 means in, 外 means exterior, 耳 means then, 民 means commoner, 莫 means none, 不 means not, 成 means accept, 顺 means follow. So the 4 lines read, hence, if the ruling class's virtue motivated and shines from within, then none of the commoner would not listen and accept the rules. If the principles were expressed in their exterior, that is, in their conducts, then none of the commoners would not accept or follow the rules. Again, the ruling class is supposed to embody the moral principles in their daily conducts. 故曰：治礼乐之道，举而错之，天下无难矣。故 means hence, 曰 means said, 治 means to reach or to arrive. But here I interpreted it as to mean to perfect from the textual context. The whole passage is about cultivating oneself internally and express the virtue externally, to embody the virtues and express one's virtue through ritual and musical performance, so that the common people would follow one's example. 礼乐 means ritual and musical performance. 知 means of, 道 means way, 举 means take, 耳 means and, 错 means implement. 知 refers to the way, 天 means heaven, 下 means under, 无 means there is none, 难 means difficulty, 乙 is the exclamation mark. So the two lines read, hence it is said, perfecting one's ritual and musical performance, take and implement them, then there is no difficult thing under the heaven. The difficult things refers to govern a society and create political and social order in it. I spent quite a bit of time to talk about the three characters and their meanings, because I would like to show you how ancient the ritual and musical performance was in China. We not only have the text like 礼记 to prove how ancient this practice is, but also archaeological findings to show how ancient it has been practiced. Here is a photo of a bone flute from 8,000 years ago. 40 bone flutes were unearthed from the Jiahu site in the 1960s, and you can still play them. One of my classmates from the history and archaeological course took some photos of the bone flutes at the Henan Museum a few weeks ago. So here they are. They are so amazing. Some contemporary musicians in China have played music on reproductions of this bone flute. Here is a link to a video playing the bone flute. We could imagine that such bone flutes were played by the ancient Chinese from 8,000 years ago throughout the prehistorical time to the early dynasties in their ritual ceremonies. Of course, other musical instruments are also unearthed from various historical periods. Perhaps the most amazing musical instrument were the musical bell and stone chimes unearthed from the Zheng Hou Yi Mu, or the Marquis Yi's tomb of Zheng. I have mentioned these archaeological findings in one of my videos. Here's the link. The musical and ritual performance not only has a very long history, it also was politically and culturally significant to the rulers throughout the imperial time of China. By the time 礼记, or the Book of Rites, were compiled, that is, the Warring State period, ritual and musical performance had become an apparatus to legitimize a ruler's regime for a long time, and had become tools to demonstrate a state's economic and military might to other states. From the Han Dynasty on, once the Confucianism became the state ideology, ritual and musical performance also became an effective mechanism to organize as well as regulate almost every aspect of Chinese people's life. I think this video is already getting super long, so I'm going to stop here. But I would certainly come back to this topic in the future. There is still a lot more I haven't covered about the significance of ritual and musical performance in Confucian traditions. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So if you would like to read original Chinese texts, please contact me. Here's my email address. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you next time.